Tom Brady. Poor build, skinny, lacks great physical stature and strength, and gets knocked down easily.
That kind of gets me fired up. The hell do these people know?
Who is this guy? Dismissed, unknown, and underestimated. Clearly, they couldn't see him.
He looked me eye to eye and he said, "I'm the best decision this organization has ever made."
I always felt like once I get my shot, I'm gonna be ready.
Bledsoe taken out, and Brady has been put into quarterback.
Who is this guy? The one whose heart could not be measured. The one whose drive outshined the rest.
What Tom Brady just did gives me goosebumps. The Patriots are Super Bowl champions!
Who is this guy? The one who overcame the obstacles. The man who, when pressured and pinned, let it all loose.
We are not finished!
A genuine leader. The man who saw the very best in his peers, rallied them, and led them to the pinnacle. Time and time and time and time and time and time again. The man who holds more records than any other player in the NFL. The one who thought his best win was the next one. The leader, the anchor, the son, the father. He's kept us breathless, defining what it means to be a champion.
You're the greatest quarterback in the world, man.
And now, this. A legacy enshrined forever in the Patriot way.
I am a Patriot for life.
So, who is this guy?
He's Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, and we love him for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Patriot fans, welcome to the Patriots Hall of Fame induction for Tom Brady. And now, welcome to the stage, comedian Bill Burr.
All right, how you guys doing this afternoon? This is amazing. We're gonna kick this thing up out here on Route 1. How about a round of applause for this guy in the friggin' helicopter going 0 miles an hour, 800 feet above a parking lot. Not safe, not safe. Before we get started here, I just want to say it's an absolute honor to be a part of this, to be honoring the greatest NFL quarterback of all time. And I'm going to say that again, the greatest NFL quarterback of all time. That's right. That is right. No doubt about it. There's not a lot of sure things in life, but I can guarantee you, you're never going to see another quarterback come along and in 20 years go to 10 Super Bowls and win 7. I don't want to hear about that guy from the Chiefs. Andy Reid is too fat to make that happen. It ain't happening. I don't like the way he runs. So, I got to be honest with you. This is mind-boggling as a lifelong Patriots fan to be here. For you younger fans, I know that doesn't make sense. But taking you back, when I first started watching way back, Jim Plunkett, it was like we were barely in the league, right? We had that helmet with like Paul Revere's cousin was on it. We played in that high school football stadium. We were literally banned from Monday Night Football because somebody's drunk stabbed the police horse. You remember that? We win a game, we carry the goalpost down Route 1, and like 5 of us got electrocuted. We were not a winning franchise. And then somewhere along the line, I don't know, Victor Kayam, and that whole fiasco, along comes Robert Kraft. Round of applause. Robert Kraft comes along, turns the whole thing around, gets Bill Parcells. We had that #1 draft pick, and I remember it was between two quarterbacks, Drew Bledsoe and that other guy, right? Drew, that's right, give it up for Drew. And I remember being so traumatized as a Patriots fan, I'm going, we're gonna pick the wrong guy. There he is. We're picking the wrong guy. So we get Drew, and then Seattle gets Rick, and I'm thinking, there you go. Rick's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Drew's gonna blow his knee out. And for the first time ever, we finally picked the right guy. Turns it around. We get there with Bill Parcells. He got mad about some groceries, and he left. Remember? And I'm like, here we go again. And then they brought in that Flanders guy, I forget his name, Sneaky Pete Carroll. Remember that? We'd score a touchdown and he'd go, woo! And I'm like, this isn't a football guy. And then Bill Belichick comes along, drafts Tom Brady. And from then on, we couldn't miss Lawyer Malloy, Ty Law, Teddy Bruschi, Willie McGinnis, Adam Vinatieri, Wes Welker, Rob Gronkowski, that guy we can't bring up, right? Just plowing ahead. Edelman with one of the greatest catches ever. And in 20 years, we go from being absolute doormats, not even in a league, to having the most Super Bowl champions, tied with the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is such an honor to be here. It's been such a pleasure to watch all of this from way back in the day, drinking on some guy's yard in Walpole. Right, remember that? Walking drunk on active train tracks under Route 1 to stumble in and watch them, to then be a part of this greatness. It's so fantastic. I just want to thank the Kraft family, all the history of the Patriots, and everybody for this moment. We have a fantastic evening. Look at all of these people that showed up to honor Tom. Absolutely incredible. All right, I'm going to be back up here a little bit later, and it's my honor right now to introduce our next guest. This guy's an absolute legend in broadcasting. Started out at ESPN, has broadcasted everything from NFL football, NBA basketball, NHL, tennis, golf. Took over for Al Michaels, an absolute legend. Please welcome the one and only Mike Tirico, everybody. Come on. Nice warm round of applause.
Thank you, Bill. Good evening, everyone. How we doing? I got to tell you, I don't care which of the 32 franchises is your favorite if you're watching around the country. This is unbelievable. What a night. What a testimony to what sports mean to New England and what Tom Brady means to this area as well. I'm used to being here on Sunday nights and Monday nights, but how about a little Wednesday night? And how about Wednesday 6-12 to celebrate the 6 titles won by number 12, Tom Brady? So you might be wondering, of all the choices in America, why am I the one here hosting tonight? Well, if you were watching last month, there was a celebration for Tom in LA. Let's just say that got a little sticky and uncomfortable, right? So you want to do something a little bit different. Kevin Hart was the host that night, so they wanted to change it up. So instead they went with somebody taller and more handsome than Kevin, and you got me. Sorry, Kevin, I love you. If anybody can take it, he can. But tonight is not a roast. Tonight is a toast to the greatness that has been the Brady era here in Foxborough. It is also going to be family friendly. I'm sure we got a lot of kids in the house tonight with their parents to enjoy. A lot of folks are watching at home with their families. It's a way to celebrate tonight because if you think about it, generations grew up together watching the greatness of these Patriots. So if you are gathered around watching with family members tonight, maybe you remember somebody who's no longer with us, who was part of your family, who enjoyed all the great runs, maybe the first of the three. Or maybe there's somebody who came along in life a little bit later on and enjoyed the second part of the great run. Tonight's a night to celebrate family, and it's a night put together by the Kraft family. So Robert, Jonathan, everyone else, thank you for putting together a one-of-a-kind evening here tonight. We've got surprise guests. You've already seen a lot of the famous faces in the house. The new coach of the Patriots, Gerard Mayo's here. Coach Mayo, give him a hand. We got celebrities who've been part of the Patriots family over the years, enjoying John Bon Jovi is in the house tonight. JBJ, where are you, man? Hello, John. We got some surprises. The green room backstage is alive with some great people and a lot of fun. So we're gonna get this thing started. And since we're talking about family, we're gonna turn the clock back. Before Tom Brady was the GOAT, before he became a legendary quarterback, he was simply just a Brady named Tommy.
We had 4 kids in under 5 years, and the oldest was 4.5, and then we had a baby in the family. And so lo and behold, our 4th one was the son, and that kind of completed it, and in a spectacular way.
I came from a small town in Minnesota. People had 15 children. I was hoping we could maybe have a couple more, but then after changing diapers and bottle feeding and sleepless nights with Tom and I said, nope, it's enough. I think we're good with our 4 kids.
I think once he got his boy, he's like, I'm done.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
One year when Maury was the pitcher and Julie was the shortstop, and our daughter Nancy was the catcher. Tommy was in the 8th grade. That year we had 315 games in the family. Games, not including practices or anything else.
Uniforms were probably everywhere, mitts, equipment, but it was just a great way to grow up.
We had like 90 kids on the block from one corner to the next corner. And
we were riding our bikes. We had a great childhood. Yeah. So I remember him being always competitive. He would go and play against all the big boys on our street and not be scared of them. He'd get mad at them actually and yell at him if they didn't throw him the ball or let him play.
I think we were always protective of him. They used to always tell him, go long, Tommy, go long. And he would take off running, he would be running down the street, and then they'd all turn around and they'd just laugh and they wouldn't throw him the ball. And then I think that's when we'd get pissed. Oh, right?
I cannot remember him annoying me when I was younger. He wasn't insane. He wasn't annoying.
Growing up, he was a prince,
He's kind of like the golden child. He's still a golden child.
Today, he doesn't eat strawberries. Like, that's annoying. He doesn't want to go have a beer. That's annoying.
Nancy, she moved to Boston to be his assistant. And that worked pretty well for about
3 minutes.
4 months till he asked her to take his laundry to the cleaners one time, and that was it.
I was his first, manager or assistant, as he probably would say, more like. It was such a cool experience to kind of be here with him from the beginning, to kind of watch the change, watch the pursuit, watch the climb, and I don't think, even as sometimes challenging it could be, I would ever take that experience back.
I remember a time where you guys took us to Cancun. I think it was the first time we thought, wow, maybe maybe he should try out for the football team. There was this tire. Remember the tire?
I remember
And there
that
was that
distinctly, yeah.
And he grabbed a football and he had to throw it through the tire, and he made it on his first try. And we were all like,
Yeah.
so surprised.
It's kind of an awakening because he put like 4 out of 5 through the middle of a tire. And we thought, what the heck happened to that guy, for God's sakes?
Maybe we can get him to unretire.
Tom Brady entered training camp, the Patriots' third-string quarterback. You go on to become Super Bowl MVP, now here at the Pro Bowl. Can you describe...
Pro Bowl, after he won his first Super Bowl, and I felt that was a time that I could see his, our life was going to change.
So here he is, the Super Bowl MVP. Tom Brady comes into the Pro Bowl.
We all went as a family, and Tommy, he'd say, well, let's, we're going to go out to dinner. Let's go out to dinner. And then, he called like in 10 minutes and said, no, I don't think I don't want to go out to dinner. And then he was going to play golf with us. And then he called and said, no, I don't want to play golf. I could just feel that he felt his life changing. It was no longer, it had gone to another level.
He couldn't be our just little Tommy anymore. He was just, he's a man.
He's a grown man.
His own man, doing his own thing, on his own quest.
Honestly, we loved Boston. We were so excited to get to Boston, and people were really so wonderful, and those memories, will never ever fade from our minds and our hearts. When I went through my cancer, I can't tell you I got so many wonderful cards and letters, and people made me shawls and blankets, all from the New England area. And it was just such a wonderful memory for us, those 20 years. I mean, it was ups and downs, but more ups than so many wonderful memories. And we tried not to change our hat sizes. We tried, we're still
on Portola Drive. Been here for 47 years.
Many people say you're their hero, but who's your hero?
Who's my hero? It's a great question. Well, I think my dad is my hero because he's someone that I look up to every day. And my dad.
That's pretty, it's beyond touching. It kind of, I think that's kind of what every father would aspire to, that we do our best and then our kids appreciate us. And that's kind of what that says, that we've kind of done a lot of stuff right. Not all the stuff, but as much as we could. So it's an honor to be his father, and it's an honor to have him as a son. And it's also an honor to have these daughters and a wife that I have. So I've been very blessed, and he's exactly the son that I would want to have and do have. And it's pretty cool, pretty blessed.
I promise you, those are not the only tears of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the greatest quarterback in the history of the National Football League, Mr. Tom Brady. Well, we just heard from your family, and we just heard from your other family here. It's pretty sweet, isn't it?
I think it's so difficult, and I've got a speech I'll talk about later, but it's so difficult to put into words what this amazing night means to me and our entire family. And where we started on Portola Drive, as my mom said, our hat size never got too big, and I feel like we're still the family that was always trying to love and support each other, and I think we're adopted New Englanders. And I have my little babies out here that aren't such babies anymore, that were born here on Beacon Street. And we got off the plane yesterday, and I was driving down the Mass Pike and just looking and very nostalgic about what this 2 decades is meant to me, and it's meant to my family, and it's meant to the people that I've came in touch with over a long period of time. A lot of them in this stadium, a lot of them in the different places where I lived in Franklin, I lived in Quincy, I lived in Comm Ave, I lived on Beacon Street, I lived in Chestnut Hill, and I just want to say, you guys affected every part of my life, and I love you all, and I'm very grateful.
We've got a lot of people who will reflect on you as the night goes on. But since we just saw that amazing video about your family, you talked about coming here to New England. A lot of these people feel like your family to them because you were in their living rooms, their family rooms for 20 years. But one family that you became incredibly close and a part of, the Kraft family. And when you came back at the start of last season, there's a great picture right behind us here of your family and the Krafts all together. You just talk about what Robert, Jonathan, all the Krafts have meant in your life here, Tom?
So that picture pretty much sums it up, and I think there's so many experiences that RKK and I have had, and I'm not gonna go there yet, but we've been through so much, and when you're in one place for 20 years, there's so many ups. And there was a few little bumps in the road, but I don't think anything could ever detract or distract from what our love and our commitment to one another always was. And I took a trip with RKK and Myra to Israel in 2006, and it was a life-changing event. There was a lot of life-changing events here, but they didn't always take part on the football field. They didn't always take part in the football facility. A lot of them were shared experience with all my teammates that were outside of this particular environment. And that one was where he and I spent 8 or 9 days together. I got all the videos. We did everything in Israel together. We saw football fields. We were shooting AK-47s. There was a lot of amazing things that we got to see. And those shared experiences over a period of time, whether it was a round of golf, whether it was dinner at his home, whether it was going to Oishi Sushi in Chestnut Hill, and talking about, you know, I came a long way. Grew up in California, came a long way, all the way across the country where I didn't necessarily, and this wasn't the digital age where there was FaceTime and those types of things, but there were people that I counted on for that real-time advice, and RKK was one of them. And I was brought into that family with Jonathan and Myra, with certainly Myra, God rest her soul. She was a huge impact in my life. My son Jack, who's now 16 years old and as tall as I am, as clear as I remember, we were playing up in RKK's office with Myra, laying on the floor for hours. And, you know, that's what this experience has meant to me. Yeah, the games are amazing. Playing sports is amazing. The memories that I shared with all the people that are sitting up here, including RKK and his family, that's the reason why there's so much love and loyalty and commitment to what this organization is and what it means to me.
That's part of the reason why this is going to be such an amazing night. Like I promised, those weren't the first tears. There'll be more, but put a smile on your face and put a smile on everyone's face. If we're going to do this 6-12 celebration, we've got 12. Let's bring out the 6. Let's bring out the 6 Super Bowl trophies won during the Tom Brady era here in Foxborough.
And ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the stage Rob Ninkovich and Patrick Chung.
What's up? What's up? Oh, yo. So, all great teams love to compete. We're built on competition. And Tom Brady is the ultimate competitor. Whether it's off-season conditioning and you're in his group and he decides, you know what, we don't need a rest. We'll just keep running. Or as a defender going against the best quarterback to ever play, that competition is what was infectious to all the great teams that played here. And I embraced being around such greatness with a guy that was so competitive and drove us to seek greatness and go after it every single day and repeat it. Forget about what you did yesterday, focus on being great. And I enjoyed every second being with Tom. He's the best to ever do it.
Ever do it. And Rob is right, man. Tom's competitive nature is something different. It's different, man. Let's talk about practice. Forget games and playoffs. Let's talk about practice. As a defense, interceptions on Tom, loved it. Just to piss his ass off. I say that with love. Say it with love.
Okay, so one time there was a throw that he made, and it was cover 2, and he happened to throw it right to me, and he made it a point to come up to me and say, yeah, great catch, Rob. Yeah. I threw it right to you.
Exactly, exactly. But then
I had to catch it.
You got to catch it. Then regret kicks in, and he throws 80 touchdowns that day after that. He's pissed about an interception in practice. Think about what that does for your team. To see someone that has everything, MVPs, Super Bowls, everything, and practices like he has nothing. Think about that. You can't coach that. That just comes with you. He's competitive with everything. Trash get ball.
We gotta wrap it.
We gotta wrap it? Okay, all right. Well, there's players here that want to say the same things. So, let's help welcome all you guys, 60,000. Help us welcome these 4 legends. Ty Law, Devin McCourty, Willie McGinnis, and Vince the Man Wilford.
This is going to get out of hand.
Yeah, it's going to get real.
The trash talk has already started.
I said, don't start with me. You want to go, we'll go.
You don't want this smoke. Trust me, you don't want this smoke.
Maybe there's a ball back there we can get started. All right, let's just go.
We got to protect the franchise at all costs. We'll rough him up a little bit, Mike, but we got to protect him.
Well, you tell me what his competitiveness was like compared to the other guys. Because you were here for a while and established, you and Ty before he got here.
Well, first of all, when Tom came in, we had just signed Drew to one of the biggest, quarterback deals in NFL history. I think he over $100 million, right, Drew? Over $100 million. So we didn't know if Tom was going to see the field, and injuries and everything happens in this business. So you heard Patrick Chung talk about practice, right? And shout out to the former Patriots, first of all, that led the way. Andre Tippett, Stanley, all you guys that are here. And our former teammates that are over there, shout out to all you guys. We got to give love to all the Patriots in the house. It's a lot of guys that showed up. That's part of this legacy. Now, are the dirty dogs in the house? The dirty dogs in the house, Wiggum? Now, so you guys know, the dirty dogs were the scout team who went against Tom Brady in practice. And we started calling them the dirty dogs because they would get dirty and do anything to get him out of character. But this, I think, is where he got the edge. The first team defense would always take the first 8 reps. Right, Malite? The first defense would always take the first 8 reps. The Rodney Harrisons, myself, Ty, Seymour, Vince, everybody. And when he started, we made sure that it was hell. We talked trash. We went full go. There was no stipulations. There were no rules. And the coaches knew what we were doing. It was about us competing, giving him a real look of what it was going to look like in the games. And when things didn't go his way, or when things didn't go our way, sometimes you had to separate both sides. But right then and there, we pretty much knew that he had the DNA to be one of the greats because he never backed down. He was resilient. And some of the other words, we have kids in the house, I can't say, but he was right in the midst of everything that was going on. And right then and there, we knew that he was different.
And Ty, you guys helped establish the foundation of the Patriot way. What'd you see in him, how his leadership in a very short time helped raise the Patriot way to the level we all talk about?
I think when you think about Tom, he sits back, he studied. He's not the type of guy that in the beginning to come out and be real vocal. He just sat back, he played his role, played his part, but as he got more comfortable. But when it came to the competition, that's when you heard him. You know, he wasn't the type of guy to come out in a team meeting. We had a few guys like that, Willie being one of them, Lawyer Malloy, and those guys always team speeches, which, by the way, got on my damn nerves. I'm like, could we go home now? But Tom was the type of guy that in practice, you talking about going at somebody, and he was so competitive. Like if you're talking trash to him, and you say, don't throw it over here, you pick him off, or anything like that. Most quarterbacks say, you know what, I'm gonna come back another time. Tom will come back the next play. He's gonna come back and beat you the next play. So that's the type of competitor that he was. But when we're coming out, for example, most quarterbacks, you know, and I think Drew was a tough guy too, but other teams have been on, they're not in the middle of jumping around, head butting and things like that. The quarterback usually stay on the outside. Tom was in the middle with all the linemen and everybody head butting and stuff like that. I'm like, you're gonna get a damn concussion before you first start. You know what I mean? But I seen something in him. No one can say that not only is he the greatest quarterback of all time, no one thought that he would be the greatest football player of all time. So I want to say that, Tom, you're not just the greatest quarterback, you are the greatest football player to ever lace him up. So do not categorize this man as a quarterback. He is the best football player, but just to see his growth and maturity and the way he took to him, and he told me one time when we went out, and I think it's pretty well noted, we were going out for a team dinner. We was about to spend up all the rookies' money, and Tom Brady said, I ain't giving this SHIT back. And when he said that, I was like, this guy's different. This guy's different, man, and he proved everything that he said he was gonna do. He's did it and more, man. So congratulations to the GOAT.
Vince and Dev, before you guys go, Tom, can you share with everybody what these guys meant to you as you followed and became the leader of this franchise that you became?
So I think there are different forms of leadership. And when I first got here in 2000, I had a great leader in Drew Bledsoe, who I think so much of the success when I think back was, and a lot of people ask me now, who's gonna be the best quarterback? Which kid drafted? And I said, I don't know. Tell me where they're going and tell me who they're around and tell me who's gonna develop them. And I got into this organization and I walked in day one and I had Drew Bledsoe sitting in that quarterback room with me. Damn right I was gonna be developed. He taught me things that I couldn't learn had I not had a chance to watch for a year under no pressure to play, but to sit back and learn and watch. And I got to watch Ty Law practice, who was a first-round pick with high expectations that played like a Pro Bowler, played like a champion, practiced that way, showed up every day looking to kick ass in the run game and the pass game, was willing to take on any #1 receiver in the league, didn't care who it was, and had the utmost confidence in every single thing that he did. I got to see Willie McGinnis, who is one of the greatest players and leaders that I ever witnessed on the field, that didn't matter what coach asked him to do, set the edge in the run game, sack the quarterback, strip the ball, make a play in the fourth quarter, sack the quarterback in the playoffs. Willie did it all. And Willie had a very peculiar locker in the locker room. His was the last locker you had to walk by on the way out the door. And you better believe if Willie was sitting there and you didn't get your job accomplished, oh, you had to walk by Willie and hear about it. And Willie's sitting there at 6'7", 280 pounds. I didn't want to have a bad day. And then Vince came in and talk about, you got a chance to sit back a little bit your first year and learn from Tiny and learn from Richard and see some other great players. And Vince stepped in to become the greatest nose tackle this league ever saw. And displayed his own type of leadership, intercepting passes,
Absolutely, baby.
rumbling, bumbling, stumbling down the field.
Now he gonna think he can catch.
And his impact on this franchise as a leader.
There it is.
His presence, he learned from the guys in front of him. And then Devin, I can't say enough good things about Devin McCourty and him coming in as a first-round pick, unheralded, a little bit from Rutgers, played corner, makes Pro Bowler, first year as corner, and then all of a sudden coach tries to move him to safety, and then becomes one of the greatest safeties this league has ever seen. So leadership to me means a lot of different things. It means you come in and first of all, and before you really have a chance to be a team leader, you watch and you learn, and you sit back, and all you have to do is what Bill always said, do your job. Show up and earn the respect of Ty and earn the respect of Willie. And then one day you become, through your own hard work, you become a little bit better. You become a little bit more confident in your job. And then you become like Willie and Ty were to me. You start putting pressure and expectations on the younger guys to do their job. And that's what we were able to do over a period of time. And these four guys playing on the defense, believe me, there's no greater group to have as a quarterback on a team than to have a bunch of ballers on defense. And they made the biggest plays in the biggest games on the biggest stages, week in, week out, day in and day out. And these guys are my brothers. There's a lot more of them out there that are sitting out there in the crowd, but it's been unbelievable to play with these four, and I love them so much, and I'm so grateful for everything they taught me.
Hey, Mike,
At the end, 1 second, Ty. At the end of the night, Tom's going to get his red coat as a member of the Patriots Hall of Fame, and certainly, guy over there who's not wearing a red coat right now will be someday. So we look forward to celebrating that night, Dev. Let me hear from Vince. Let me hear from Vince and Dev. Vince, what was it about this guy that made not just him better, but everybody in that locker room better people?
Well, it came down to how hard he worked. You know, as a defensive lineman, you know, I was one of those guys, we can't get near him. We can't touch him.
Thank God.
Don't pat his butt, don't touch his shoulder. So a lot of times, I used to watch Tom when he's not. If it's a special team moment, what is he doing? And he was always working. He was always working. I never seen Tom just sitting around and doing anything. It was always something about him. If he's with his offensive coordinator, he's talking about plays, they running routes, he's throwing passes. He took everything seriously. Even after practice, he's staying out. So as a young guy, it was easy for me to come in and see this guy working as hard as he's working like a rookie. And this is a star quarterback. It was easy for me to fall in line. And that's one of the most amazing things I really appreciated about him. And it made it easier for me to play for a guy like that because I know stepping on that field, he gonna give me his all. I knew that. So on my side, we knew we want to get him the ball because we get him the ball, we win. Plain and simple. It was just that simple.
And real quick. And that created, we had a lot of sayings in the locker room, right? And that created one of the most important things that we did as a team and players. And it's called what? Getting to what?
Getting the edge.
Getting the edge.
Getting the edge.
And that's something that we created in the locker room amongst each other. All the guys out here know it's called getting the edge. If you wasn't working, if you wasn't drinking water, if you wasn't in the weight room, if you wasn't watching tape, you couldn't be a part of the circle.
Yeah.
You couldn't get along with the team, and you wouldn't be here long. Yeah. And when we started that, he came into it, and he took a lot of guys with him. So that culture is something that still goes on now with Coach Mayo and the young guys that are here now, figuring out how can you be better. And we didn't want to let each other down. Like, forget who we was playing on the other side of the ball. I didn't want to let Ty down. I didn't want to let Tom. I didn't want to let Vince. None of the guys, we didn't want to let each other down. So we held each other accountable, and it didn't matter who you were. Everybody was held to the same standard.
Devin, I need to let you share your thoughts.
Let's make this a little younger. We got all the old guys.
I was going to say,
you old too, buddy.
You're the established guy on TV, but all these guys are reminding you you're the youngest guy up here.
They told me yesterday too.
Wait your turn.
Yeah.
And be quick.
What do you mean to you?
For me, it's so unique hearing these stories. These guys saw Tom when he was young. Vince saw him when he was kind of young. I saw him when he was an old guy. And that was when I first came in. And it's hilarious because Ty's over here talking about headbutting. Gerard Mayo lost a tooth because Tom headbutted him too hard in pregame. And we talk about being competitive. Brian Hoyer took a lot of money from him in the locker room just betting on cornhole and different things. And I'm watching this guy, and I'm just like, this dude's nuts. He's a leader of our team, but he's nuts. And I'll never forget the way the offseason was when I was young was the veterans came in a little earlier. When the young guys came in, they got a little bit of a break. And we come in, and the first time we come in, for me, I'm the rookie. Tom's in there. Randy, Vince, Gerard. So I'm like, damn, this is a big day. It's the first day all these guys are in. First day in, Bill curses all these guys out about leadership and what they didn't do last year. And I'm in the back, and I'm standing up in my seat like, oh, he's talking to him? I'm scared to death. And I remember going on the field that day, and Tom comes up to me, and he goes, hey, I'm Tom. Yeah, I know you're Tom. And he's like, Devin, we're excited to have you. I'm happy you're here. And I go home that night. I call my mom, like, Ma, Tom Brady knew who the hell I was. I was so excited. And then you find out later in training camp, once he's signaling stuff at you across the field, talking trash, you're like, oh, man, he was just nice, just an introduction. He's trying to kill me. So he's meant so much. I've talked to him about how I could get better as a player, different things he told me that gave him problems as a quarterback. I tried to implement in my game. He showed me how to be a leader, being a captain, watching him, watching Vince, the guys in front of me. But just him being him changed our whole locker room. Thankful I got the opportunity to play with him.
We've got offensive guys waiting to talk. So in the Patriot way, you've gotten the ball back for them. Yep. But I want to go around the horn real quick. If you could just give me one quick sentence, tell him what he has meant to you in your life. Vince, I'll let you go first.
He meant the world to me because of his leadership qualities. And just because football isn't part of my life anymore, daily I have to be a leader. And when I think about leadership, the first person I think about is Tom Brady.
Willie?
I think Tom took everything that was in place, and he took it 100 levels above what we were doing each year in, year out. And what's important about a superstar or whoever you label these guys is he never put anybody above the team, not himself, not anything. He would turn down things if the lineman couldn't do it. It was all about team. And I think that's what makes him so special. And I will say this, and I say this to a lot of people. He knows he's my brother, and I love him to death. He's a better person than he is a football player. If that says a lot.
Absolutely. Dev?
And I will echo what Willie said. I want to say, man, big shout out to his mom and his dad, because what I learned was the person you are is who you need to be every single day, no matter what happens. And being on the road and traveling and seeing the attention and stuff he got, and he just remained the same every single day. It taught me the type of man that I want to be more than anything else. Yeah, he was great in football, but he showed everybody in the locker room how to be a great man, and that's so important for me.
Tom, like the leadership qualities that have, he lives it, he breathes it. So what I've learned from Tom is resilience and wanting to be the best, not taking a day off, not taking anything for granted. But the most important day for Tom was the next day. He did what he had to do for today, but you was always looking forward to the next day and getting the opportunity to get better, man. So when you have that type of leadership quality, it's not hard to follow this guy. It's not hard to believe in him because at the time we did not know. But now we know who you are, and I take that with me when I think about Tom Brady, who you are as a leader, who you are as a person, and staying consistent in who you are and being the best that you can be every day, man. So, hey, love you, brother.
Thank you guys all. Ladies and gentlemen, Ty Law, Devin McCourty, Willie McGinnis, and Vince Wilfork.
B, congratulations on making it into the New England Patriots Hall of Fame. I feel crazy saying that as if it was a question that you'd make it into the New England Patriots Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, my man. Hall of Fame. I'm waiting on you on the other side, but this one here is big. It's who you are. It's what you represent.
There's literally not anyone more deserving to go into the Patriots Hall of Fame than you. What you've done in your career and what you accomplished there is unbelievable.
Now listen, I could have swore you were in there after the 2002 or 3 or 4 or 2005 season. You get my point, but we all knew this is your destiny one day.
Congratulations on retirement, your career, everything that you're doing off the field, my brother.
Hey, Tom. I just want to say congratulations on your induction into the Patriots Hall of Fame. There is no one more deserving, and you were the ultimate competitor on the field. No one competed harder than you. No one, I felt, wanted to win more than you.
As long as number 12 was under center, it didn't matter what the down distance was, the score, the situation in the game. It didn't matter how many times I was hitting you, how many times I sacked you. You were always going to get right back up and come at us even harder.
Stop crying for flags, TB. Stop it, and don't try to make no tackles or no catches. Just throw the ball, and TB is TB. Playing against you was absolutely incredible. Sleepless nights, only because of the greatness that came from you, brother. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for making me look at the game and see the game different. Matter of fact, you're one of the main reasons why I studied the way I did.
These kids nowadays throw around that GOAT phrase way too easily, all right? But I know one thing, and this is tough for an old Dolphin to say. I had an opportunity to play against the GOAT of all GOATs for almost my entire career. And the people of New England know exactly what a GOAT looks like.
Far more than the touchdowns and all the passing yards, man, is the fact that you put together teams or led teams that were able to win it all.
And you were the ultimate friend off the field, which I love as well. So I appreciate you. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you.
Just want to say congrats to Tom on being inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame. It's well-deserved, man, and I appreciate all the advice you've given me, and especially the advice you gave me after y'all beat us in the AFC Championship game. That put the stamp on all the hard work I've been putting in. Congrats again, man.
Congrats on an incredible career and your induction into the Patriots Hall of Fame. It was always a challenge lining up across from you, but you brought the best out of all of us, and I just wanted to say congrats again. I wish you nothing but the best and continued success on all your endeavors. Have a great time.
And I really appreciate you for making me cool, because I could tell people I played against the great Tom Brady. So congratulations, enjoy your induction. You deserve it all, my friend.
It was an honor to have competed against you, to have watched you play. You're so deserving of this. Congratulations. Have a great time.
Blessings to you, man, on your endeavors after your career now, and much success to you.
So once again, congratulations on your induction in the Patriots Hall of Fame. If you would just keep your ass retired for a little while longer, I look forward to being your teammate one day in Canton very soon. All right, thanks again, Tom. I appreciate you. I love you, man.
And hey, from one old Wolverine to the other, cheers to you. I almost forgot. It was a damn fumble. Cheers, man.
Well, obviously there were a lot of great faces you all recognized and brought out some emotions. There was one person not in that video who said they refused to talk about Tom Brady into a camera again. So instead, and you don't know this is coming, surprise guest. Ladies and gentlemen, Peyton Manning. You didn't know that was coming, did you? You didn't know he was here.
I love this guy. I know I looked up to him since the day that he was in high school football, and he was the #1 rated quarterback coming out. He was the #1 rated high school recruit out of, was it Cardinal Newman Catholic?
Yep, Newman, Isidore Newman. Yep.
Isidore Newman. And then went to Tennessee, won the Heisman.
Did not win the Heisman.
Close to winning the Heisman, Charles.
Nice.
This is about you. Let me talk about you.
But I'm
here
just
for a minute.
saying, he's the guy that, you know, when we were quarterbacks in the league, and I tell this to so many young players, and I've been fortunate to have a great relationship with Peyton over the years, and I think for me there was so much admiration and respect for the way that he handled himself through the wins and the losses, and how he conducted himself on and off the field. And he's an incredible friend of mine, and I love him. I love his family. Got to know his family really well over the years. Always sending me text messages after games, after he retired, and we shared so many great memories in Indy, in Gillette Stadium here, and obviously in Colorado when he played for the Broncos. So thank you so much for being here.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you very much.
So Peyton and I talked, and we decided this is 2-on-1. So he didn't want you talking about him. We're going to have him talk about you for the next few minutes. So sit back and relax. By the way, folks, up here with these two guys, 1,316 touchdown passes, 7 Super Bowl wins, 6 Super Bowl MVPs right here. And a lot of you got to see them play some memorable games right in this stadium. So how blessed are we to have them here with us tonight? And since it's been such a warm welcome for the Manning family here tonight, let me be an honorary New Englander and pile on. Tom's first start, right over there in the parking lot now, September 30, 2001, was against you. How'd that game turn out?
It did not go well for me and the Colts, Mike. I remember meeting Tom before the game, and I just remember how kind of calm and cool and collected he was for a guy making his first NFL start. We had a brief conversation, and then things kind of went downhill for me after that. My timing that day was better to Otis Smith and Ty Law than it was to my own receivers. I think I might have thrown one to Willie. I think Brewski might have got one. They were taking turns having interceptions on me. But like I said, I mean, I don't think anybody could have predicted what was coming, but to see the composure and just how calm and cool he was in the pocket that day, that was very impressive to me for a guy making his first NFL start.
And then 3 weeks later, because you guys were in the same division at that point, you guys go to Indy, and he got you again. So we started out 2-0.
Tom pretty much got me most of the time we played, Mike.
Okay.
And it's funny, people forget that the Colts used to be in the same division as the Patriots, and so we obviously played twice a year. And then when realignment happened and we went to the AFC South, I think Tom and I both felt the same way, that we were almost like division teams still, because we played in the regular season, and for the majority of our careers, we played again in the postseason, whether I was in Indianapolis or in Denver. And those first games were so important because you wanted to win that game, so you were hoping to play them again at your home stadium in the playoffs.
So can you share a story? Let's go back to you guys start 8-0. They're 6-2. Sunday Night Football game in Indy. They're up 6. It's 4th and 2. Coach Belichick decides to go for it at the 2-minute warning, thinking Kevin Falk can get the 2 yards, which he did almost all the time. Really good defensive play stops it. You guys win the game by 1. But you understand why Bill Belichick would do that, because you did something like that playing against him over the years.
Well, I'll tell you, the hardest thing about playing against Tom Brady was if you were down by, a field goal or even 4 points, and you were driving to possibly win the game on a 2-minute drive. I remember Coach Dungy would say, Peyton, we want you to score to take the lead, but only do it with about 6 seconds left. We don't want Tom Brady to have any time to have the drive. I'm like, that sounds real easy, Coach. I'll score a touchdown, I'll wait till 6 seconds on the clock. But that's how you had to approach it when you were playing against Tom Brady, because as you heard his teammates say, he was the ultimate competitor, and he wanted that ball with a 2-minute drive opportunity to go win the game. He did it against the Rams. He did it against the Panthers. I used to watch other teams play against the Patriots, and it would be a drive with about 5 or 6 minutes to go, and a receiver would go out of bounds, or they would have an incompletion. I would say, yeah, that's going to cost you the game right there, because now Tom's going to have the ball with 1.5 minutes to go, and he's going to just take him right down the field. So when we played against him, absolutely. So when we played against them, that was our mentality. Sure, try to win the game if we have a chance, but don't give him the chance to have the ball back. And even when he did, I was praying on the sidelines. I never pray on the sidelines, but I was like, Tom's got so many Super Bowls. Let me just have one chance to win one, maybe. So, but that's what a great player he was.
I'll let you back in here. And when we do games on TV, we get to do production meetings. These guys were 2 of the best because they're so smart, so accomplished. They tell you things you need to know. You would always tell us, games against big quarterbacks, that, oh, it's not about Brady against Manning. It's not a quarterback against quarterback. You're going against their defense. You're going against their defense. Were you lying to us?
I think Tom and I both were probably lying to you.
Because,
look, for me, I mean, obviously playing against these incredible defensive players, Bruschi and Vrabel and McGinnis and Bill Belichick, being the incredible coach he was, it was going to be a great challenge going against the defense, but you knew you had to score points because Tom Brady was their quarterback. You couldn't have an off day, so it was a stressful week. It wasn't a relaxing week by any means when we were playing in New England, coming up here to Foxborough. Y'all were so nice to me all those years. I can't remember, which one of you exactly, but you always seem to know my mother's name. You talk about my mother. It was very personal. Really appreciated that. But, they like me here, Mike, because I always lost here. So I'm much more popular than Eli here. I can promise you that. But, no, absolutely. You knew when you were playing against a Tom Brady team, you better be at your best, because if you weren't, Tom Brady was going to beat you every time.
What was it like playing against him?
I think that I could never have been the type of player that I was without having someone like Peyton that I had to aspire to be like. And I looked at him as the gold standard for quarterback play, and I still do. And I see all these young players that are developing in the NFL, and they're young quarterbacks, and there's nobody like Peyton Manning out there right now. And there's nobody that approached the game. And people always talk about talent, certainly at the quarterback position, and they go, oh, he's so talented. Watch this throw. You know where the talent is for a quarterback? It's right between the ears. And every quarterback in the NFL needs to be capable of throwing the ball, but the real magic of being a quarterback is when you walk to the line of scrimmage and you're processing what you're seeing, are you able to get 11 guys on offense, everybody on the same page to do exactly what you need to do against the exact defense that you're seeing? Peyton led the way in that in so many ways. I tried to emulate that. After every season, I would watch every single Colt game to understand what they were doing on offense. Because in many ways, the guys you saw up here before, early part of my career, we were being led by Willie McGinnis and Teddy Bruschi and Rodney Harrison and Lawyer Malloy and Ty Law. We weren't this dynamic offense that was running up points. We were late bloomers. And we were very fortunate to have this incredible defense. And I wanted to be a better offense. And we became that, and we grew into this incredible offense as well. But it took a lot of time. It took a lot of studying. And it took someone to look up to and aspire to be, and that was Peyton.
Thank you very much.
What I really appreciate about you guys as individuals is, I think of like Chris Everett, Martina Navratilova, one of the great head-to-head rivalries in sports. They became friends later in life. And as you said, you guys have become friends here. When did that start to happen?
Well, obviously playing against them so many years, felt like we met at a Pro Bowl, got to know each other at a couple off-season golf tournaments, and we just had tremendous respect for each other. I was so impressed with Tom's commitment to be better every season than he was the year before, always looking for some type of edge in his training and his film study. And we actually got together one off-season in 2009 at the height of our careers. Tom's coming off an MVP season, I'm coming off an MVP season. We met in a small town in Tennessee. I said, Tom, let's get together. Let's kind of go real under the radar. Don't tell anybody we're coming in. Tom flies in on Mr. Kraft's plane, big, huge plane. I'm like, that is not what I said. I said under the radar. That's against the salary cap too, by the way. We won't get into that. But we played golf together. We lifted weights together. We threw routes together with these high school receivers. We took their phones away, and we said, if you tell anybody that Tom Brady and I are working out together and that we're friends, we're going to kill all of you. So, but it was fascinating to see his work ethic, and we really picked each other's brains, not, giving away all of our secrets, but we were kind of challenging each other to get better. It was a fascinating 2 days for me. It really was.
It was a great 2 days, and it went so fast. And I have all those notes that I took from those days. And there were so many things that I had learned through talking with him because, again, when you reach a certain point at quarterbacking, you want to reach out to the other people that you really look up to say, hey, what works for you? I couldn't do that with a lot of younger players. And Coach Belichick always drafted a lot of young players, and I loved having those guys in the room, but they didn't have the experience. So who could I really learn from? And Peyton was the guy that I could learn from, and we developed that relationship because we had one. And those 2 days were, I remember them like they were yesterday. They were meaningful to me. They meant the world to me. And they were just one of the experiences that we had together that I think made our friendship so strong.
And then, of course, a couple years ago, I was fortunate to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Tom Brady left training camp to come to see my induction, and I'm honored to be here tonight, and I promise I'll be there in a couple years when he is there in Canton as well.
Well, on behalf of, truly we can say this, football fans around the world, thank you to you two guys for giving us a generation of memories, of leadership, and of greatness. Great surprise guest. Ladies and gentlemen, a hand in Foxborough for Peyton Manning.
Hey, Tom, man, this is Big Poppy right here. Just to say congratulations on everything that you have accomplished, man.
Tom, congrats on an incredible career and your induction into the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Yo, Tom, your boy The Truth. I just want to say congratulations on the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Tom, congratulations on your induction. The early 2000s was a special time in Boston and New England sports, and I'm lucky to have played my career during that time, but more importantly, to play in the same building as you.
As a fellow athlete in Boston, it was an honor to watch you play and compete over the years.
It was that type of element that always come through and guide us to win championship and motivate us to believe and keep the faith, man.
It was a real great honor to be able to witness you over the years, just witness greatness at its finest.
You left no doubt that you're the greatest of all time.
Have a great time tonight. Congrats on the Patriots Hall of Fame, and I'll see you on the golf course.
On behalf of the whole New England, thank you very much, man.
Once again, congratulations, Patriots Hall of Fame. You deserve it. Have an unbelievable night. We love you, man.
You are the cabra. Love you, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Logan Mankins and Dan Kopen.
How cool is this, Cope?
Yeah,
we're the greatest quarterback of all time.
Those were both my quarterbacks, and we got to foul them.
But everyone knows Tom's the greatest quarterback, but he's also the greatest teammate. He's the one guy that anything you asked him for, he would do it. He was the nicest teammate. You just loved being around him. You loved playing for him. And he was the greatest leader ever also. He worked harder than everyone else, studied harder than everyone else, and he was the best example you could think of.
Look,
on behalf of all the O-linemen, Tom, we just want to say it was an honor and a privilege to block for you. And we loved you, man.
Playing line is about trust. And when you walk into a huddle with number 12, there's not a lot that you can't accomplish. And, you know, it was, Scar always said, you know, if we keep 12 clean, you know, we're going to cut up New England, we're going to cut them up like a Borden house pie. Tonight we got something special. A little nervous. Tonight we got something special. These guys coming on stage, a lot of us weren't privy to what went on. Hell, I didn't even know where the quarterback meeting room was. They disappear. But tonight, they're gonna take you into that quarterback meeting room. Patriots Nation, please welcome Drew Bledsoe, Josh McDaniels,
Brian Hoyer, and Matt Castle.
What's up, Smitty? I would never say anything bad about
All right, take us inside the quarterback room. I guess you got to start, Drew. You got to tell us what it's like.
Yeah, I got to start, and I promise to be nice tonight, unlike a couple weeks ago. I was going to start off with a Kevin Hart quote, but I'm not going to do that. I think the most important thing, and there'll be a lot said tonight, but you know, when you look around here, and the teammates that are here, the fans are here. They would show up even if you were a jerk, because you won a lot of championships and all the awards, but the teammates and the coaches that are here because of who you are, not because of what you did, right? And for me, you know, I was thinking about tonight, because I was there when you were just a kid, and the most important thing is that in the really meaningful ways, you're still the same dude that I met when you came in as that young kid out of Michigan. And that's a credit to your folks, it's a credit to your sisters, and it's a credit to you, because the guy that I met was this inquisitive, curious, hardworking guy that was in my ear all the time. Why'd you make that throw? What were you thinking there? Why were you doing that? Why were you know, like you were annoying. Like you were that little dude that was in my ear all the time trying to figure out, hey, why were you thinking that? What'd you do there? Why were you doing that? And the thing that has allowed you to overcome your obvious physical deficiencies has been that incessant desire to improve at all times. And I know you're still doing that now, you know, and that competitiveness was evident. There are 1,000 stories, but I remember we played golf one time, and I used to have some sandbagging, like 9 handicap. Like it was like me and you and Freeze, and you know, Tom goes out and shoots friggin' 78 and takes all our money that day. Like that competitiveness was always there, but the credit to you, and the reason that we're all here, is not to celebrate your accomplishments, it's to celebrate you as a person and what you've meant to everybody that you've impacted in your life.
Josh, you get started here, actually started defensive side of the ball a couple of years, and then it's a long run with this guy. For you, the first impression and then the way things developed in terms of an incredible relationship between the two of you calling plays.
Yeah, I was 28 when Bill asked me if I would do this, and the answer was, of course, I would do it. But I obviously this was a three-time, two-time Super Bowl champion on his way to being a third one. And I just remember the first time I had an opportunity to interact with him when I became his coach, and he was certainly well accomplished by then. And he allowed me to be myself, to grow on the job. He always respected me. He showed me the type of compassion and all the things that we know of Tom now. He allowed me to grow as a coach underneath him as a 28-year-old who really had no business. He knew way more about quarterback play than I did when I first started.
Matt and Brian, you guys come in here, picked in the late round for you, undrafted for you, Brian, and Tom's established now as the guy, as a Super Bowl champ. So your first impressions certainly different than Drew's. So share those with everybody.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I got here, obviously, Tom had just come off his third Super Bowl in 4 years. It's a little bit intimidating. You're coming in as a 7th-round draft pick. We got 5 quarterbacks on the depth chart. I'm sitting there going, man, I've got some work to do here. And I had the weakest introduction of all time. He comes up. I'm like trying to figure out how I'm going to introduce myself. I didn't think he knew my name at all, which he didn't. And so he walks up and I say, hey, I'm Mr. Brady, I'm Matt Castle. And I was like, oh my God, why would I say Mr. Brady? He's like, call me Tommy. But I thought for sure I was getting cut the next day because he wasn't going to deal with any nerds like that. Because I was like, Mr. Brady. But I mean, from that point on, what was interesting about Tommy was he loved to compete. You've heard it. He loves, and he also, his desire was not just on the football field, it was in the weight room. And so when I first started working out and all that stuff, I didn't work out. I mean, I worked out by myself, and wherever Mike Wojcik told me to go, oh, Mike Wojcik. And one day, Tommy comes up and says, hey, you want to work out? I was like, yeah, let's work out. And for the next 4 years, he was my workout partner. And unfortunately, I had no creative ideas in that process. He would tell me exactly what we had to do. We did boxing one off season, yoga one off season. It was crazy, but it was his leadership, his ability to take somebody underneath his wing that he didn't have to, a 7th-round draft pick, and didn't owe me anything. But it was the type of person, the type of teammate that you hear on and on that Tom Brady is to each and every person that comes in that building.
And it benefited you and this franchise in the 2008 season. Those couple of years of trying to pay attention paid off as you really led this team in a first-class way after Tom was hurt week 1. And New England will never forget what Matt Castle did that season when he stepped in. Brian, I mean, it's remarkable. This is the supreme compliment. You've played for a quarter of the teams in the league. You have been in a lot of quarterback rooms. So when you came back in, what was it about him that was different than the other guys around the league who you'd interact with?
Well, I think for me, I'm listening to Matt talk. I was just a few years after Matt. Matt left to go to Kansas City. I came in as the undrafted guy. There's 4 quarterbacks. I'm the 4th quarterback. And I got the same introduction as Dev. He goes, hey, I'm Tom. He goes, hey, Brian, I'm Tom. And I'm like thinking to my same self, like, wow, he knows who I am. Maybe it's because we beat Michigan the year before. I don't know if that was why. But, the same introduction, I'm thinking, yeah, no, you're Tom Brady, and I'm the 4th quarterback. And I just came here. My agent was like, go to New England. I'm telling you, they like you. And I thought, this is an opportunity to learn from the greatest. And at that time, he already was the greatest. And so I came in. He took me under his wing. I learned so much from him. And I tried not to annoy him. I didn't want to be the annoying guy he was to Drew, so I kind of just watched. And I would watch, and I saw Billy O'Brien here tonight, and I remember a story. It was like November in the season. He's like, hey, call Tom and see what time you want to meet at the hotel on Saturday. And I go, I don't have his number. He's like, you haven't asked for his number yet? I'm like, I don't want to bother him. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing his thing. I see how focused he is. But he turned into the greatest mentor, the greatest friend. I mean, you mentioned being in a lot of quarterback rooms. There's nothing like it. And that benefited me over a 15-year career because I took that with me everywhere I went. And I tried to implement the way that he taught me in what I did on a daily basis.
I'd love to go around the horn and hear about getting to Sunday, because this guy showed up every Sunday, every single Sunday. But I can't imagine it was, oh, Tom's fine, he'll be ready. Were there times that you as the play caller and you guys as the backup were like, oh man, I better be ready because I don't know if Tom's going to get there?
Yeah, we saw a lot of things from head to toe that weren't right with him at times. But I think the most impressive thing that we could probably all say is we saw the same commitment to his body and to making sure that he was out there on Sunday for his teammates and his coaches and all the fans. I mean, every single day, every year, he treated it the same way. And that's why these guys have so much love and respect for him, because he was always going to do everything he could in his power to make sure that he was out there trying to help us win.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the toughest SOBs I've ever been around. And there's multiple times through my tenure here where I was like, there's no way he's getting up. There's one time in Jacksonville you got knocked down, and I thought you were out, and you go, I just need to play. I just need one play. I went in and handed off the ball because they weren't going to throw it. And then you came back in, and we ended up winning that game. But then, I mean, I vividly remember my rookie year. We're sitting there on the sideline right over there, Tampa Bay, and you're sitting there, and you kept wincing. You kept going, oh. I'm like, dude, what's the matter with you? I thought it was indigestion. I didn't really know. He never led on to anything. Come to find out, it's a sports hernia. The guy's got a sports hernia. His stomach's tore up. And he goes on, and that's the end of the season. We're about to start playoffs. And he goes on to play in the playoffs, the rest of the playoffs. It's just, that's the type of person he was. But, I mean, tough as nails. A guy that would do anything to be out in the field. And I'll never forget, you always said you never want to see somebody else doing your job. And that held so true for every moment of your career.
Drew, I'm going to give you the last word of the quarterbacks here on watching Tom after you were here, obviously, and then watching what he has become, not just as a champion and a leader, but you mentioned as well a person. What is it that you admire the most about Tom Brady?
Well, when you talk about, his toughness going into games, that's another thing he learned from me, because he knew that if he missed a game, there was some young punk that was going to take his damn job. So he knew that he couldn't miss a game. There's some youngster that comes in, and all of a sudden. But I will say about Tom, and I promised we were going to be nice tonight and not roast him, but all the great things about Tom, great teammate, greatest quarterback of all time. You were the worst backup quarterback in the history of the NFL. You never understood that when I got healthy, you're supposed to go sit the hell down. Dude, I love you, man. I've said it before, but it's something that I think should be said over and over and over again. The only thing greater than your accomplishments as a quarterback and your awards is the person that you are, and the person that you are in the lives of so many people. Love you, buddy, and incredibly proud of you for this honor.
Drew Bledsoe, Matt Castle, Brian Hoyer, Josh McDaniels.
And ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the stage Danny Amendola.
Foxborough, how we doing? Good to see y'all. Tommy boy, I just want to thank you for everything you've done for me, for my family. I want to thank you for everything you've done for this beautiful city. You hung all these banners up. We appreciate you so much. But there's one beautiful thing you did in the spirit of this city. You made a beautiful movie, 80 for Brady, in the spirit of 5 beautiful women in their 80s, one of which going through cancer, that relied on your spirit to get through that bout. And thank you for my SAG card. However, I'm a very mediocre actor. We've all seen Ted, all right, we've all seen Ted, but thank you for making the beautiful movie 80 for Brady, and 2 of which are here. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you for that, brother. Thank you for everything you've done. You're truly the man. Let's give it up for Bill Burr.
Danny Amendola, everybody, come on! Danny Amendola! Looking like he's on Dancing with the Stars. That was amazing. Those tight slacks, the whole thing. All right, we're gonna have a little bit of fun here. You know, we've been talking all night. Tom Brady, they wanted me to come up here, have a little bit of fun with some of his famous friends and some of his haircuts. over the years, and who better to make fun of some of his haircuts than a bald ginger a foot shorter than him? All right, we're gonna start. Here we go. Look at that mullet, everybody. Come on. How gorgeous is that? Nobody brings the mullet like that. Donnie Wahlberg can barely contain his excitement. He probably said, Tom, whatever you do, don't go to Dorchester with that haircut. We need you to start on Sunday. You're not in San Francisco anymore there, buddy. All right, next slide. Here we go. Who's this one? Oh, it was Steven Tyler, another legend. Give it up for Steven Tyler. Look at Steven's face. He's like, oh my God, I think that's Jim Irsay. Holy I went to rehab with that guy. He was addicted to weighing footballs after letting up 300 yards rushing and losing by 35. Piece of garbage. One of the Colts had to go. Peyton was too nice, so I had to leave him alone. All right, next one. Arguably the only guy with better hair than Tom Brady, John Bon Jovi. Come on, everybody. Here's something you might not know about John. He knows a ton about football and came this close to buying the Buffalo Bills. True story. John, did you think that through? If you bought the Bills, you were going to have to live in Buffalo. Yes, with a bunch of fat chicks and lake effect snow. I think you dodged a bullet, buddy. You should stay in Jersey where you belong. I won't be going to the after party. All right, next up. Oh, look at Josh Allen. Look at him. Tom Brady just explained the cover 2 defense to him. He's like, oh, I just run or throw it to somebody on the other side of the field. I don't care. He's from Wyoming. He's just happy to see an ocean. This is my favorite gig ever, by the way. Oh, look at it. Here we go. Legend. Give it up for Julian Edelman. Come on, everybody. Julian Edelman, one of the great Patriots of all time, and an unbelievable teammate. Look at him taking the bullet here. Look at him. He's like, don't worry, Tom. I'll sit next to him. By the look on Tom's face, they just switched seats. I love Jimmy. I'm kidding. I got to work with the photos they give me. All right, next one up. Oh, the great Peyton Manning. Come on, what a class act coming out tonight. Keep it going for him. Come on. There you go. Unfortunately, this photo is proof that God does not love everybody. Some people he takes his time on, other people he just kind of slaps them together. I think the angels are like, God, you realize that's a baby giraffe neck. You do realize that, right? And he was like, don't worry, I'll just put him in the woods of Louisiana with all my other mistakes. I won't be playing New Orleans anytime soon. All right, we're getting down to it. Next one. Hey, Guy Fieri. All right, this photo here is for all the ladies tonight. Give it up for yourselves, ladies. All right, this photo is called Who You Want to Marry versus Who You End Up With. Yes, I'm sure you all dreamed of your shirtless Tom Brady riding up in a white horse, but instead you end up marrying some line chef at an Applebee's with sunburns and a broken down convertible. All right, who do we got next? Couple more, folks. Oh, here we go. Alex Rodriguez. Come on, everybody. In honor of Gay Pride Month, Alex Rodriguez. There you go. Shirt tucked in, hair highlighted. He's an ally, honey. That's what he gets for slapping the ball out. Where's you? Yeah, remember that? Ridiculous. All right. Next one up. Next one up. Who do we got? Oh, come on. One of the coolest guys ever, Snoop Dogg. Tom actually told me, he said into his ear, I'm going to play another 12 seasons, and then I'll smoke weed with you. And lastly, but not leastly, look at that, classic. That is the look on Tom Brady's face when he has no idea who he's taking a picture with. All right, that's it for me, Tom. Thank you for 20 unbelievable years. I love you, brother. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody. Oh, wait. Thank you. All right, we got to introduce the next video. We have another local Boston guy. He's doing all right for himself, wants to honor the great Tom Brady. Enjoy this video. Thank you.
Congratulations, Tommy, on your induction into the Patriots Hall of Fame. We are the luckiest fans in the world to have had you play for us for so long. I know you're not from New England, but you will always be a New Englander as far as we're concerned. We love you, man. You are the greatest of all time, and you're an even better guy. What a life, man. Well done.
Let's now welcome to the stage Kevin Funk and James White.
What's up, Patriot Nation?
What's going on?
All right, me and James supposed to talk about work ethic tonight, but I think it was explained too much going on up there, so we decided to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, you know, we feel like our invitation to the roast got left in the mail or something. You know, running backs, we get left to the side something. That's the NFL these days. We get the shorter, the smaller piece of the pie, you know?
I think they left us out for a reason, but it's all good. But the crazy thing, being back, it feels so good. It brings back so many different memories of, like, me watching you making plays on the field in, like, some of the most critical situations.
For sure, me and Kev weren't always on the field all the time, but we knew fourth quarter, end of game situations, when Tom Brady really needed us, we had to come through for him.
Without further ado, guys, we're here to introduce 4 guys that knows a little bit about catching passes from the GOAT.
Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski, Randy Moss, and Wes Welker. Either one, Wes, we're all good. We're all fam here tonight.
These guys, the 4 most touchdown receptions from Tom Brady, right up here. We can throw 3 wide and 1 tight end here and have a team nobody can stop. Randy, take me to the season with you and Tom.
Well, I think that a lot of fans here were just wondering, and I think football fans were just wondering what they were going to get. Y'all know it's always good to feel this. I thank y'all. Real quick, Mike, before Tom came in, I just wanted to say a couple words to him. And the one thing Tom said is, Randy, don't get me emotional. And y'all see what y'all did. So I apologize because this is really not my night. It's 12's night. And like I said, I thank you. But back to your question, Mike. In 2007, I was in a crazy place because I just wanted to be a part of a team. I studied the New England Patriots. I studied Bill Belichick and his coaching style. I studied the defense. I studied Tom Brady and how he led the offense up and down the field. And I remember just hearing Willie McGinnis and Peyton Manning talk about the fourth quarter. Everybody knows in the fourth quarter when dealing with the Patriots and Tom Brady, if you give the man back the ball, you know it's trouble. And the one thing we were sitting up here talking about in the back, we were talking about Tom's competitive nature. And when I came into 2007, I had no idea what it was going to look like. All I know, I just wanted to be a part of a team. The first guy that I laid eyes on in the locker room was Kevin Falk. When I met Tom Brady, it was kind of like, it was so surreal because I studied this guy. I met him in his hotel Monday night football in Minnesota, where he put up 5 touchdowns against the Vikings, and that was his first time ever. So it's kind of, to me, like something on me kind of rubbed off on Tom that night, and I really felt that if I ever got a chance to play with him, it would be magical. So in 2007, it came up, and I know y'all have heard me say this time and time again. They asked me, what's one thing that they need that I wanted from the organization? I said, I don't want anything. Just put my locker beside Tom Brady's, and the rest would take care of itself. So and I just want to clear up, lastly, because I want to hear my other 3 brothers talk, but it was just something that I had a goal, and I had an individual goal, and I know this is not the organization for individual goals, but I had something to prove. And the reason why my hat's off to you, Mr. Kraft, Belichick, Brady, my teammates, is because y'all gave me something I was looking for 10 straight years, man. That's be a part of a team, not being singled out. And you hear everything about the team concept, about doing your job, holding everybody accountable. If you're holding the #1 man on the team, Tom Brady, accountable for anything he does on and off the field, then the other 52 men on the team better get in order. Like Willie said, you won't be here long. So in 2007, man, was great. We didn't bring it home, but I tell you what, it was something I set a goal to do, and that was come out here and just show my dominance. And Tom, the Patriot Nation, y'all helped me do that. God bless. Thank you.
23 touchdowns, record-setting season you were a part of as well.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a special year coming here in 07, coming from Miami and being able to be a part of something. Thank you. Something so special. You know, when I was playing against them when I was in Miami, I always looked at their team and I saw the guys that they had and the type of team they were, and you could tell they're winning games as a team. And you know, I was just like Randy. I wanted to be a part of something like that. So when the opportunity presented itself to get traded here to New England, I mean, I remember I was helping my brother like lay tile at his house, like, and I'm getting a call to come here to New England, and me and my dad are sitting there like jumping up and down and knowing the opportunity that's coming. And I just, you know, was so blessed to be able to spend that time, and especially with Tom here. And you know, that first year, to be honest with you, I hated Tom. Like, I mean, he was so demanding. Why'd you do that? And so it was just time and time again of screwing up and failure and then getting it right and then failing again and over again and talking through things over and over again and meeting during the off season at UCLA and just going as hard as we could, and we'd be doing 2-minute drill, and I'm sitting there running all these routes, you know, all right, one more, oh, the guy jumped off sides, we got to do it, all this stuff, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, but I loved it because it made me so much better. The work habits that he even put in myself, because I thought I worked hard until I got around Tom, and that dude just took it to another level, and it was something so special and something I've just been so truly blessed to be able to be around. And not only that, but your humbleness, your class, the way you go about your business, the way you do everything, the father you are, just everything. I mean, I think a lot of us really look up to you, and the way you really conduct yourself on and off the field, it's really something special, man. And I love you for it.
Jules, we're celebrating work ethic here. You come in 09, 7th round pick, like 13 picks after he was picked, in the low 200s, right? Gronk, you come in the next year. When you get here, what do you see about the way he's still working that inspires you guys to become the workers, the stars that you became?
Well, for me, it wasn't like Randy, where it was love at first sight. Let's go! Yikes. No, I love you guys. You know, for me, like I was saying, you know, I was a late round guy, and Tom and I were represented by the same agents. And so we kind of had a connection when it came to that. And he was from the Bay Area, I was from the Bay Area. And the first thing that you could just instantly tell from Tom was how genuine of a human being he was. I mean, I remember seeing him for the first time. I had I had this back in our day, that when we first started, we had binders of the playbook. So you had like a 6-inch binder, and when you're a rookie, you're scrambling everywhere. You don't know where to go. You're terrified of being late. You're in the locker room. The veterans just come in. Tom just comes in. You see Randy Moss. You see Wes Welker. They just had 2007 where they just broke a bunch of records. So you're sitting there like, I hope I don't f***. I don't know if we're supposed to swear. You don't want to mess up. And so I see Tom. I'm walking through to go to a special teams meeting, and I'm running. And this tall, handsome guy with blue eyes and a jawline that'll strike you from away from the room comes through. And he goes, hey, my name's Tom. I drop my binder. I'm like, nice to meet you, Tom. It's very, very nice to meet you. But the simple fact that I was a 7th rounder, I was a nobody. He knew my name, he knew a couple things about me, and that's something that he knew, and he did with everyone around the facility. It didn't matter if it was the cafeteria ladies, the equipment staff, the training staff. It didn't matter what was going on in his life. Tom was the same dude every time, and he could compartmentalize, and I learned so much from him. He was such an inspiration. He, like Wes said, like Randy said, he brings your hard work to a whole nother level because he always practiced with a purpose. He always had something that he was working on. It didn't matter that he already had 3 Super Bowls. It didn't matter that he had all the accolades. He always practiced with a purpose, and he was always a professional. And, you know, for a younger guy, if you were 43, 53, the 58th guy on the roster, you had no choice but to follow order because your best player was your hardest working player, man. So it was insane.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Gronk, you guys were magic together. What did he do to help make you one of the greatest tight ends in the history of the National Football League?
Wow. This is incredible. This is incredible. And Tom, you're the only one that can bring so many people here together. All these ex-players, ex-teammates, all these fans, you're the only one in the organization that can bring all this together and have a lovely night. So thank you for that, man. And coming in as a rookie, I struggled. I was raw, I had talent, I was big, I didn't give a F. I was blocking my face off, I was running routes, I was awful, but I was also really good at the same time. And Tom lit a fire under my butt every single day in practice. He got on my case every single day. If I wasn't where I needed to be on an out route, he'd be yelling at me, he'd be screaming at me right when I get back in the huddle. I remember one time about week 4 of my rookie year, in practice, I ran a flag route and I didn't get outside of the defender. And if you're running a corner route and you don't get outside of the defender, Tom Brady's not throwing you the ball, and he's going to let you know he's not going to throw you the ball. And that's what makes him so great as a player and as a teammate and as a leader, because he wasn't scared to get on your case, to elevate your game to the next level. Yeah, I thought he was a jerk at sometimes my rookie year, but let me tell you, I figured it out. I figured out why he was on my case. He wanted me to be the best player I could possibly be. And he saw talent in the Kraft, baby. And I didn't even see that talent yet. And Tom saw that talent. And the day that Tom and I connected, it was a Panther route, from what I believe. A Panther route was where I go full speed into the end zone. I just lower my shoulder. I just give the, the little chicken wing.
Get physical.
Get physical with the defender, with the linebacker, and I turn around, box him out, and get open. And Tom Brady, every single day, exemplified, get physical. You're bigger, you're faster, you're stronger than everybody. And first year in the league, you're still looking at everyone like, whoa, I'm in the NFL, everyone's faster than me, everyone's bigger than me. But Tom would boost that confidence. No, Gronk, you're bigger, you're faster, and you're better than effing everybody. And I never really noticed that. And then we got on the same page Friday in practice. We run that Panther route. I get open. Tom throws it to me. We catch it. Touchdown in practice. He's flipping out. That's what we need in the game on Sunday. That's what's going to happen. So what happens? We go to Chicago. It's 70-mile-per-hour winds. I think you took a shot before the game, actually, Wes Walker.
2 or 3 shots of Jack Daniels before the game.
All right, back to Tom.
It was -3 degrees, and the windshield was ridiculous. And what happened? The Panther play gets called, and Tom Brady looks at me in the huddle and says, "Get the F open, Gronk." And who am I going versus? The great Brian Urlacher as a rookie. So I run 15 yards down the field, and in my mind, this is the time where I can finally gain the trust in the organization and in Tom Brady, because you're not going to play if they don't have your trust. I run full speed at Brian Urlacher, give him that chicken wing, get physical with him. He backs up about 3 yards because I give him that, that meaning. Turn around, where's the ball? It's coming full speed at me. The placement right exactly where it was in practice, because Tom Brady does not miss. I turn around, caught the ball, and from there on, that trust has just exemplified to the next level. So thank you, Tom, for always believing in me.
Every one of these guys, you saw them, highlight moments, memories that'll last a lifetime, all the stats for the greatest individual careers.
Mike, I have to say this. I have to say this. We're talking about Tom Brady's competitive nature and greatness. So a lot of people just wonder what goes on the night of a football game. Well, Saturday night, I'm surprised, Tom. I'm surprised nobody's ever said this. Tom Brady's Saturday night meetings, okay? And we're talking about greatness, Mike.
It's a lot of head shaking.
Yes. And all you running backs, White, Falk, y'all know about them Saturday night meetings, okay? Hoyer, y'all know about them. And the thing about it is, all the mistakes that we made during the week, all right? All of his pass catchers, he'd have a separate meeting with his O-line, okay? All his pass catchers, Mike, for the whole week that made a mistake, Jules, if he's short, if Gronk is short, if I drop a ball, it's on his reel for the Saturday night meeting. So y'all wonder why the magic happened on Sunday? Because Tom, the Patriots, Coach Belichick put us through so much hell during the week that, man, it made our job easy on Sunday, man. Kudos to you. Appreciate you, bro.
And you made our job easy tonight.
Yes,
Wes Welker, Randy Moss, Rob Gronkowski, Julian Edelman. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, Tom, hello, friend. How I wish I could be there tonight to salute you in person, but I had the gift of watching you perform over 100 times in a Patriot uniform. That was a network record, one that I'm proud of.
Tom, congratulations on the Patriots Hall of Fame. What a great day this is. I got to admit, I can't say that we're surprised that they let you in.
Hello, Tom Brady, fellow Michigan man Rich Eisen here, wishing you a hearty congratulations. But of course, I knew of you and your greatness well before anybody in New England did, with your days in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I've been there since the very beginning, and of course, watching your ascension in New England, and you won the first Super Bowl NFL Network ever covered. And then the third, and then the fourth.
Tom, you not only made the players around you better, but take it from me, you made the announcers better as well. When John Madden or Chris Collins and I would do a Brady game, there was always a great sense of anticipation that would heighten our senses and almost always lead to a fun day or night in the booth.
28-3. 28-3. And Troy and I are sitting there like, oh my God, this is going to be a long night. But in the back of our minds, we were saying, just like fans were saying, both Patriots and Falcons fans, yeah, but it's Tom Brady.
I said to you after that great upset over the Rams, you know, I think you guys snuck one through customs. But if winning means to you what I think it does, you got a hell of a start. And you turned to me and you said, you know, this is why we do this. I love to win. I love to do what it takes to win. And I can't wait to get started for the next season. Well, I think you got started, and I'm actually shocked that you're finished. Because you could probably do this at 75.
The game that you consider your most perfect was the hardest one that John Madden and I ever had to broadcast. Buffalo, 2007, November. We flexed into the game on NBC. At the half, 35-7 Patriots. At the end, 56-10 Patriots. You were 31 of 39 for 373 yards and 5 touchdowns. And John and I spent the last 2 hours of that game filling time with nothing. Thanks a lot.
And everybody hung on for dear life 25 straight points later and an overtime touchdown, and it was yet another Lombardi trophy. It was an honor that night. It was an honor every time to cover games played by the GOAT.
To be able to document the greatest career of all time.
And I wish you all the best in your next endeavor, which I'm sure you will be as great at that as you have been at everything else.
Just don't let your house in Florida sink under the weight of all the Emmys you'll wind up collecting. Take good care, man.
Thank you for everything you did for the Patriots, for the people of this region, for the game of pro football. You're in the history books for centuries after we're long gone. What a great day. What a great honor. Congratulations.
Congrats, Tom.
Congratulations on going into the Patriots Hall of Fame.
You're the best. You're the GOAT. And I'm honored to say congratulations on your induction into the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Before we do anything else, a couple of quick shout outs. We've heard from some of Tom's teammates. There are over 100 of Tom Brady's Patriots teammates who are here tonight. Y'all want to stand up so everybody can give you a shout out? Thank you all for being here tonight. Cheers to all of you for all your successes. And additionally, there's another 100 Patriots before or after Tom who are just as big a part of the family who are celebrating the night as well. So to those guys, you guys stand as well. Let everybody here in Gillette Stadium give a hand to the pre, the during, and the post-Tom Brady era representatives of the New England Patriots family. All these players here tonight in Gillette Stadium. We're going to have Tom take a seat up here. We've got another special guest who wants to share his congratulations on the evening as we get to the business part of what we're all here for tonight.
Hi, Tom. Just want to say congratulations on the induction to the Patriots Hall of Fame. Of course, well deserved. Amazing career. You're the GOAT. Everybody knows that, and I just want to say you played a big part in me getting to where I got to now as well. So huge inspiration to all athletes and everyone around the world. So enjoy it. You deserve it. Have a great night.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Dion Branch and Troy Brown.
Yeah. What's up? Foxborough, what up, though? I said, Foxborough, what up, though? Yeah! But this is beautiful. This is beautiful. T-Roy, this is super amazing, man. One man
can bring all
brought
these
the
people.
entire band back
All these
together.
people together, all these players from different eras. Only one man can do that.
Only
That's
one
Tom
man.
Brady.
Yes, sir. You told me you had a story.
Yeah, I do have a story. It's about when two GOATs met in New York City. So I'm in New York, Tom Brady's in New York. We go to the Nets game, leave that, we're going out. You know, we're talking about rappers and favorite music and all that stuff. It's funny that Jay-Z came out and introduced him today. So we're driving down the street in New York City and look out the window and there's Jay-Z standing on the sidewalk. Tom Brady tells the driver, stop, back this car up, back it up. The driver backed it up in the middle of the street in New York City. So you can imagine, all right? And he says, hey, Jay-Z, it's Tom Brady. I'm saying to myself, there's no way in the hell Jay-Z's coming over to this car. So, sure enough, 5 seconds later, Jay-Z's at the car. Yo, man, what's up? Congratulations, man. Congratulations. You're a great player, man. I love you, man. All this stuff. You know, and going on. And that is the moment that I knew I was in the presence of greatness.
Yes, sir. Oh, well, man, I'm going to be honest with you.
Speaking of GOATs.
Yeah.
Speaking
Man,
of GOATs,
we
there's a
have
lot of GOATs in the house tonight. So.
I'm going to give you 4 reasons why I know we're in the presence of greatness.
What's the 4 reasons?
I'll say the first reason. You know, I always turn on the TV and listen to all these announcers talk about these new teams and new players going to be all this and all that, blah, blah, blah. The first reason is this right here, T-Roy. We got the best fan base in America.
True. This is true.
Sir.
This is true.
All day.
True story.
Number 2, we have the greatest owner in America.
This is true. This is true too.
Yes.
All true stories. Facts
yeah,
right now.
they're all facts. Number 3, we have the greatest football player ever to grace the field, and Tom Brady.
Facts. Facts.
Oh man, last but not least, Foxborough.
What are we missing right now?
Welcome the greatest head coach of all time, Bill Belichick!
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. And love you, New England. Love you, Patriot fans. And love Tom Brady. Yeah. Thanks, man. Thank you. Thank you, Patriot Nation. Thank you. Yeah. Tom, it's a lot better reception than we got out in L.A. Oh, thank you. Thanks so much. It's thank you. Thanks so much. That's such a warm welcome. I can't tell you how much it means to me to come back here and see the great Patriot fans. Thank you. So it was, I tell you, this is hard because for, a couple hours, everybody, and rightfully so, everybody has said so many things about Tom, great things about him. And it's just kind of being redundant to go on and on about all the greatness that he's brought to all of us, all of us, the fans, the coaches, everybody who's been involved with him. So I'll try to just, shed a couple personal stories and remarks here. But first of all, I'd say it was a tremendous honor and a privilege for me to draft Tom and to coach him for 20 years. And it's, as we've heard from so many of his teammates, his pursuit of excellence, his work ethic, the drive, the competitiveness, the unselfishness, everything he brought to the team. It was really an honor for me to be involved with that and to be able to work with him every day and learn from it. So I know that we can talk about a lot of his great plays, and honestly, we'd be up here all night. I mean, this thing would we could go until the middle of next week. But just a handful of things, and the guys that just were up there. That the 82-yard touchdown to Troy Brown in 2003 to beat Miami in overtime, right? I mean, the 59-yard touchdown in the snow to Deion Branch down the sideline in Chicago. Right here on this field, 5 touchdown passes in the second quarter against Tennessee. 3 to Randy, 1 on a flea flicker, and 2 to Wes in 1 quarter. The seam pass to Rob in Super Bowl 53 to set up the winning touchdown. And we can go on. We can go on and on. But a couple of the plays that I think about that I remember where Tom was like the most excited after the play would be the scramble in Chicago against Urlacher for the first down, the scramble for the touchdown in a Snow Bowl against the Raiders, where honest to God, when he spiked the ball, I was afraid he was going to separate his shoulder. But I think they was a little surprised at some of those plays, but those were awesome plays. And to watch Tom run and pick up those key first downs and touchdowns and all that, he loved that. He really did. He loved that. But we talk about all Tom's great plays and go on and on and on. But I'll just say this: the thing about Tom that I think is so impressive, so unbelievably impressive, and what he did for us for 20 years, 19 years that he played for us, is he avoided bad plays. He avoided bad plays, and we have a saying. We have a couple sayings here that I've used with the teams. You can't win until you keep from losing, or more games in the NFL are lost than are won. If you just don't go out there and screw it up, you got a pretty good chance, to win. And with Tom, through his decision-making, preparation, the numbers are just, historical in terms of fewest turnovers, fewest negative runs, fewest offensive penalties. And so when you eliminate all those plays, and you can stay out of long yardage, and you can keep the ball going forward, and you can keep managing situations, and then that makes Tom's excellence on third down and in the red area and in long sustained drives, because there were so very few bad plays, way less than any other team in the league by far. And of all the things that Tom does well, I think the ones that are the thing that's underappreciated, not by the coaching staff, and certainly not by me, but sometimes people just don't give him enough credit for how very few bad plays he had at quarterback as a team. And yeah, hell yeah. I mean, absolutely. And for the quarterback who handles the ball literally on every single play, I mean, other than a direct snap to Kevin Falk or James White, right? But he literally handles the ball on every play. So every play went through Tom, and there were just so few bad runs, sacks, penalties, turnovers that the team was never really put in very many bad positions. And I think that's one of of all Tom's great qualities, that's one of the greatest, is he always protected the team, did the best thing for the team, and kept the team out of bad situations. And that really helps everybody else. Now, the one bad decision that Tom did make that I personally saw was not on the football field, but was on the golf course. And Bill Perocki, the CEO of Pebble Beach, invited me to play in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. And so I played with Tom, so we were going to force them together. And we're on the 6th hole. And the 6th hole is a long par 5, down a hill, up the hill. The Pacific Ocean's on the right, it's a big cliff. And so, it's a typical Pebble Beach day, overcast, cloudy, light rain, mist, not typical. And Tom, now again, Pro-Am, keep in mind, you have a pro. So when you hit a bad shot, and I hit a lot of them, you just pick the ball up and play the pro's ball. That's what you got a pro for. So you don't worry about double bogeys, you don't worry about triple bogeys, you don't worry about lost balls. It's the pro's job to make a par. So Tom hits his drive, hits his second shot, and the ball's going over to the right, over to the cliff, which goes into the into the Pacific Ocean, and the ball rolls out of sight. And so it looks like this one rolled into the ocean. And as we walk up there, you don't see the ball. And we get to the edge and look over the cliff, and there's the ball on a ledge over the cliff. And the cliff now is like 250 feet down to the Pacific Ocean, rocks, and the waves are smashing on the rocks. And I look at Tom, and I look at the ocean, and I'm thinking about our starting quarterback, and I'm thinking about our season. And Tom's got that determined, focused, laser-focused Tom Brady look. We all know what that is. And he takes the club and walks down onto this ledge. He's got 1 foot on the side, 1 foot on the grass. It's 250 feet down to the rocks, and pitches it up onto the fairway. And I can see I can see our whole season, just in my eyes there at that moment. And then he needs the caddy to help him launch back up onto the fairway. I mean, he's like down there like 3 or 4 feet, and I'm like, Tom, did you think about maybe just like taking an unplayable lie on that one? And but Tom's made very few bad decisions, on and off the field. I mean, he was a model for consistency, for dependability, and for always, doing the right thing. It was such a great example, for all of us. So, the opportunity I had to meet with Tom, at least twice a week. We met a little bit more than that earlier in his career, but, twice a week I met with Tom. Those were, some of the best days I had as a coach in my entire career, because I learned so much. I saw the game through his eyes, which, as we all can imagine, is, phenomenal. And he taught me so much about how he saw the game. I tried to teach him how I saw the game as a coach, but not as a quarterback. And he taught me how he saw the game as a quarterback, not as a coach. And it was, those were just some of the very best meetings, very best times of, honestly, in my coaching career. And yeah, thank you. And through those meetings and the preparation that we had, Tom had, the things that really stood out were how much he cared and how much he prepared. And several of the guys have talked about his preparation. It's really legendary, all week. And and those meetings were very challenging for me because I knew he'd probably seen 10, maybe 15 games of the opponent that we were going to play. And, I wanted to make sure that I was as well prepared as he was. And that was honestly a high bar. So, but his caring and his preparation were just, exceptional. I can't really put into words like how much he did and how extraordinary it was from Monday to, Sunday after the game, watching film on the way back from the team that we played on away games, to Saturday night meetings, to Sunday morning meetings. His determination and relentless pursuit of excellence was just, beyond anything that, I've seen from, any other player at that position. And I just want to take a second to mention, the coaches that, were most directly involved with Tom. So, Ernie Adams, for 20 years. Josh McDaniels, Charlie Weiss, and the new head coach of the Boston College, Billy O'Brien. And those guys, did such a great job of coaching and working with Tom, and particularly in seeing Tom develop and looking at his skills and trying to tailor the offense to all the things that he did well and did best and that he was most comfortable with. Those guys put in a lot of time and a lot of work to make that happen. And so when we practiced, and it was hard because the offense was good. There was a lot of good players. Talked about a lot of those, the receivers and all that. But the offensive line, which was run by Dante for the majority of that time, who's also in the Patriots Hall of Fame. Dante's just like all the other offensive linemen. As long as they don't call holding on him, he's happy, man. But no, Dante and his guys took really good care of Tom, and the communication that was necessary between the quarterback and the offensive line, to handle the different things that, we saw on a weekly basis was just, exemplary. And the preparation that, that Dante did with his guys and the way his guys protected Brady was exceptional. And then that led to, highly, highly competitive practices. And when you think about the defensive players that worked against Tom, and I'm talking about the starters that were out there, and they took a lot of reps against our first team offense and against Brady. So, Rodney Harrison, who deserves to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and I really hope he gets there. Vrabel and Bruschi, Seymour, Malloy, Ty Law, Talib, McGinnis, Wilfork, Seau. And then, you know, more recently, like Chung, McCourty, Ninkovich. And last but not least, Hightower. So without Hightower, I don't know how a couple of those Super Bowls would have turned out, all right? But I can tell you as a coach who spent most of his career on defense, the number of times that I walked off the field with our other defensive coaches and we looked at each other and we were kind of shaking our heads a little bit like, are we that bad on defense? Like, we cannot stop these guys. Like, are we that bad? And then you realize over time how good Tom and the offensive unit was and how competitive it was. And we can argue back and forth about who got the better of who in practice, the offense, the defense. But I can tell you those practice squad players and some of the scout team players, they competed so hard to break up a pass from Tom Brady, to intercept a pass from Tom Brady. And it made everybody better. And it made everybody better. So I just want to take a second to say that Tom's competitiveness rubbed off. The defensive competitiveness made Tom better. Tom made the defense better. The scout team made the offense better. And the competitive practices that we had, and I'll just, they're always indelibly etched in my mind, is one of the big reasons why those 6 banners are flying up there. So, in conclusion, it's just, Tom, want to say thanks on behalf of all the players, all the coaches, all the staff, all the people, the hundreds of people that are here, and the thousands of fans that are here. Thank you, and thank you for all that you've done for us. Thank you for all you've done for me, and thank you for the example and model that you've been for all of us on a daily basis for 20 years. You're unbelievable. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage.
Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage, Matthew Slater.
Wow. What an evening this has been. This is phenomenal. I'd like to start by echoing what Coach just said and say thank you to Thomas for everything that he's done for not just myself personally, but for all of us. And I'm a firm believer that we should pause at certain moments in time and take a snapshot that we can carry with us the rest of our lives. For all of us in here, Thomas has given us several snapshot moments in life. So thank you for that, my friend. And tonight is certainly another one of those moments. Thomas would be the first one to tell you that in order for people to be successful, there needs to be structure in place. And great leaders, they put structure in place that people can flourish. And in 1994, there was a man by the name of Robert Kraft And Robert Kraft was a young man from right down the street. And at the time, he made what was probably a very poor financial decision and overpaid for a franchise that had struggled for an extended period of time. But since he took the helm and began to lay out his vision for our team and our organization, him and his family have turned this team into one of the greatest teams in the history of North American sports. And because of the structure that he had put in place and because of his leadership and vision, we have Thomas Brady and we have those 6 banners hanging up there. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Robert Kraft.
Thank you. So on August 3rd, 1981, 43 years ago, Sports Illustrated did a cover story calling John Hannah the best offensive lineman of all time. As a fan since the Patriots' inception in 1960, who had attended games in all 4 Boston venues before becoming a season ticket holder when the team moved to Foxborough, I remember the pride that gave me to have a Patriot, John Hannah, number 73, recognized as the best of all time. Coincidentally, on that same day in San Mateo, California, the greatest of all time was celebrating his 4th birthday. Tonight, it gives Patriots fans everywhere tremendous pride to celebrate the career of the greatest of all time, our Tom Brady. When Tom retired, I invited him to return to Gillette Stadium for last year's season opener. I wanted to give our fans the opportunity to say thank you to Tom. Tommy agreed to attend, but as I said that day, a halftime ceremony just wasn't enough time to honor the greatest of all time. Patriot fans wanted more. Tom Brady deserved more. So I took executive privilege and for the first time waived the 4-year wait period for induction into the Patriots Hall of Fame so that we could honor Tom Brady more appropriately with all of you tonight. Tommy, when you first walked into the Patriots locker room as a 6th-round draft pick in 2000, none of us could have predicted the extraordinary journey that lay ahead. Your relentless pursuit of perfection, your unwavering commitment to the team, and your unparalleled leadership on and off the field have left an indelible mark on this franchise. From our first Super Bowl win in '01, when you led us to victory with poise and determination, to a record-breaking 6th Patriots Super Bowl championship in 2018, your tenacity, resilience, and sheer will to win elevated the performance of everyone around you. Unbelievably, for 20 years, you instilled a level of confidence that simply didn't exist before your arrival, not only in your coaches and teammates, but also in Patriot fans everywhere. No matter the score, no matter how much time was left on the clock, even when we were down 28-3 late in the third quarter of a Super Bowl, we always felt like we had a chance to win as long as you were the man under center. What you gave Patriot fans went beyond pride. You gave us all swagger. And there are scores of numbers that are associated with Tom Brady of them. Many of them are NFL records. For example, 251 regular season wins, 35 playoff wins, 649 career touchdown passes, over 102,000 total yards passing. In Super Bowls alone, over 3,000 career passing yards and 21 touchdown passes. Tommy's 135 wins and 304 touchdowns right here at Gillette Stadium are the most by any player at one stadium in NFL history. And many of you here tonight celebrated every one of those. But for Patriot fans, we will always associate the following numbers with Tom Brady. In 18 seasons as a starter, he led us to 17 division titles, 13 AFC championship games, 9 Super Bowl appearances, and most importantly, 6 Super Bowl championships. Each one of those titles are NFL records. Tommy, your competitiveness and drive was out of this world. The only thing more astronomical than the numbers you recorded during your remarkable career were the odds that a 6th-round compensatory draft pick, 199th overall, could lead us to 9 Super Bowls and 6 championships and become the greatest of all time.
The cosmos. Vast, endless, poetic, full of improbable probabilities, predictably unpredictable, with the power to orchestrate moments that echo throughout the universe. For Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., the matter and antimatter of his universe came together all at once. And bang.
It's about honor. We win this game. Your honor. Your family's honor.
A lone light shining bright against the vacuum of space, against all odds. 1 in a million. No, more like 1 in a billion. He became the one, a force of nature ripping through the fabric of space and time. A force so fierce, he arrived at a destination never before seen, along a journey never before taken, across a space never before explored. A seminal moment in history, a pioneer of greatness. that may never be achieved again.
What a throw by Brady! Let's go! Greatest quarterback in the world, man. Greatest comeback in Super Bowl history.
Only one Tom Brady.
On Super Bowl.
Only one GOAT.
All for this moment. What the wait?
Only one. Number 12.
So as we all see, there is only one iconic number that will always represent Tom Brady. And tonight, I promise that it will never be worn again, as the number 12 is now officially retired. Tonight, we celebrate Tom Brady as the 35th person to be inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame and the 8th to have his number retired. And while he is certainly the first to have an induction ceremony with over 60,000 fans, we felt like these honors still weren't enough to differentiate the GOAT from everyone else. And while we've considered the Patriots Hall of Fame the highest individual honor for this franchise, we wanted the greatest to be the first to receive even a greater honor. So last year, we commissioned a local sculptor to create a larger-than-life bronze statue to perpetuate the legendary legacy of this once-in-a-lifetime player. Tom's figure will stand 12 feet tall and be unveiled during this 24 season. It will stand alone in the plaza outside of the Hall of Fame to symbolize his position not as the greatest in franchise history, but the greatest in all of NFL history. Honoring the legacies of the greatest players in franchise history and providing a place for all alumni to call home was the motivation for building the Patriots Hall of Fame in 2008. We partnered with Raytheon, now RTX, whose team includes some of our country's most brilliant engineers who use transformative technologies to defend our nation and to protect the real patriots, our servicemen and women. Tommy's induction into the Patriots Hall of Fame is why we are all here tonight. Our goal was to create a once-in-a-lifetime ceremony for a one-of-a-kind player. I hope we accomplish that goal with a few firsts. the first Hall of Fame ceremony inside Gillette Stadium, the first number retirement in 24 years, and the first Patriots statue ever commissioned. Tommy, on behalf of the entire Patriots organization, your coaches, your teammates, and all of your fans, I want to express a heartfelt thank you for your extraordinary contributions. Your journey with the Patriots was nothing short of remarkable, and we are incredibly proud to have been part of it. Patriot fans, please join me in welcoming a self-proclaimed Patriot for life, whose legendary legacy will live here forever. It's my honor to introduce you to the 35th member of the New England Patriots Hall of Fame, the great Tom Brady.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, everyone. Sit down. Patriot Nation, it feels good to be home. This evening marks a monumental moment in my life. It's a celebration of 20 years here in New England, playing for the Patriots, playing for you. The greatest fans in the NFL. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude and a deep sense of honor. So let me say thank you for all that you've done to help me, to help us achieve our lifelong dreams. You guys are amazing. What other fans in the world would spend hours on Route 1 every Sunday to get to a stadium in the middle of the woods? We've even got 4 guys who went to jail for me sitting right here as RKK special guests. I miss this place and I miss you. And I didn't even encourage you guys to get lubed up tonight. But you guys have shown out like you always do, and I love it. Tonight's a celebration of everyone who's ever cared about this organization. Everyone who has worked, cheered, sacrificed for it, past, present, and future. And I promise this isn't like the last time I was on stage with RKK and Coach Belichick and Jules and Gronk and Randy in LA a month ago. Those were the hardest hits I've ever taken in my life. But nobody here is taking any hits tonight. I have so much love and respect for you all. If you spend time in this organization, you are blessed. We're blessed because we learn so many things that most people never have the opportunity to learn. That nothing of significance in life is accomplished as an individual. Nobody individually hangs those 6 banners up there. The team does. Here in New England, it's always about we and us, not me or mine. Relationships are built on shared experiences, and the most meaningful thing in my life are my relationships. I truly wish I had more time. I wish I had more time to give you all. So how do I sum up 2 decades in New England in one short speech? The answer is simple. You can't. It's hard for me to properly express my gratitude and my appreciation for how my time here has added to my life. There are too many lessons learned, too many stories to be told, too many incredible moments and achievements we all experienced together. It would take me 30 days to get through it all, not 30 minutes. There are so many people to thank, and I apologize in advance if I leave anybody out. So with that being said, thank you to my mom and dad, my rock, my foundation. Your love and your commitment to your family is unmatched. To my sisters and me, you are everything. I'll never be able to thank you as much as you deserve. Sometimes it takes someone to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. And along with so many other things, that's what you gave me. My sisters, Maureen, Julie, Nancy, people ask me where I get my mental toughness. I was the 4th best athlete in my own house growing up. I had no choice. My sisters would always stick up for me when the older boys in the neighborhood, Paul and Bobby, you're sitting right down there. You did tell me, go long. Yeah, go, keep going, Tommy, keep going all the way down the street. Take a left. Yeah, go that way. And then they would say, game over, let's go home. And I would be standing down there like they finally included me. But you toughened me up in so many ways. And my sisters there stood up for me every single step of the way. I love you guys so much. To my kids, Jack, Benny, Vivi, your dad loves you more than anything in this world. Your smiles outshine the morning sun. And where I live now, that's a pretty brilliant sun. There's no greater joy than watching the 3 of you grow and teach me things on your way to becoming incredible young adults. To the communities in San Mateo and Ann Arbor, the countless teammates, neighbors, coaches, teachers that formed me into the man that I am today, thank you. You always believed in me. Don Yee, Steve Dubin, my agents, 2 men who took a hot-headed 6th-round pick out of college from Michigan and helped them navigate the whirlwind that would be the next 23 years. I'm sorry for taking all those team-friendly deals along the way, fellas. To my friends, Kevin, Brady, Pat Kratis, Michael Bronner, Ben Rowitz, and countless others, You guys have been through thick and thin with me, whether it was a difficult conversation or a wild flight home from the Derby. You've been there every step of the way. To Alex Guerrero, my brother from another mother, our commitment to each other's unmatched. Thank you for being who you are, a selfless, dedicated GOAT. And just so everyone here knows, without AG, this moneymaker right here, this thing would have lost its touch a long time ago. To RKK and the entire Kraft family, Myra, Jonathan, Danny, Josh David, and Dana. In the year 2000, I was drafted as an immature 23-year-old kid. And 20 years later, I left New England as a much older 42-year-old immature kid. But in that time, I was taken in by a family who loved me as a son and embraced my family as one of their own. RKK, look around. You fostered a culture of excellence and integrity that has impacted an entire region. I love you. To Coach Belichick, thank you for your tireless commitment to develop and push me to be my very best. It wasn't me, it wasn't you, it was us. Our hard work, our love of the game, and the way we work for one another, that's what it was all about. Let me make this crystal clear. There is no coach in the world I would rather play for than Bill Belichick. To the countless coaches, every single one of you, the assistants sitting here tonight that are not here tonight, the personnel executives and scouts, including Scott Pioli, Charlie, Josh, and Billy, to name a few. We spent so many hours in the hallways of this stadium, so many early morning meetings and late night conversations. I know I'll go down as your least demanding, most even-keeled player you ever coached. I hope you enjoy the time while it lasted. To the people of the New England Patriots organization working behind the scenes to make everything perfect so we could just go out and play. The support staff, the health and medical teams, the business operations, the video department, the IT, the nutrition, the strength and conditioning, the scouting, the football ops, the equipment staff, media and community relations, the kitchen staff, the people who cleaned our locker rooms. The list is endless, and every single one of your jobs was as important as ours was on the field. To my teammates, 20 years worth. I wish I could mention all of you by name, but I'd be here all night. Please know the incredible impact you had on me by pushing me and us to play like champions every single day. Every stitch and every thread of this beautiful red jacket is woven together by the experiences and adversities we endured. Every single one of you made my life better. If you thought you learned a lot from me, the reality was I learned way more from you. We fought together, we bled together, we cried together, we celebrated and won together. And I would go to battle with any one of you guys because I know what you're all about. In particular, I want to say something to all the offensive linemen. I made your job hard. Your mission was to protect me. And as Dante would always say, Brady, you couldn't run out of sight in 2 days. 3 days. You guys were the backbone of this team. Your toughness and your tireless effort to protect me allowed me to perform my best. Thank you. And to all the quarterbacks I played with, we grinded together, we challenged each other, we competed, and most of the time I kicked your ass. But I could point to every single one of you and tell you something that I learned by watching you. I love you guys more than you'll ever know. Also, Julian paid me $10,000 to mention him by name, so there you go, Jules. And to the fans, am I proud of our championships? Yes. Am I proud of our winning and records over the years? Yes. But what I am proudest of are the people whose lives we impacted here and across the country. They might have cheered for us or against us. Some may not have liked us, but they certainly ended up respecting us. Sometimes when I ask myself, why me? The answer is that I'm the messenger here to tell the world just how amazing the Patriots fans really are. Thank you. Thank you for 20 years of passion, loyalty, and fire. 20 years, 17 division titles, 6 Super Bowls. How did we do it? What can we learn? And how can we apply those things going forward? The foundation of a successful team, a family, or business is asking what you can do to support the mission. The Patriots embodied that. Everyone was committed to winning. Everyone was selfless. Everyone was always asking, what can I do to help the team win? As the great John Wooden said, happiness begins where selfishness ends. I get asked a lot if my kids play football. My response is that I'll support them in any of their dreams. Whatever makes them happy makes me happy. I would encourage everyone to play football for the simple reason that it is hard. It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach, and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts in 2-a-days. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard. No matter who you are, there are bumps and hits and bruises along the way. And my advice is to prepare yourself. because football lessons teach us that success and achievement come from overcoming adversity, and that team accomplishment far exceeds anyone's individual goals. To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts. If you look at all my teammates here tonight, it would be impossible to find better examples of men who embody that work ethic, integrity, purpose, determination, and discipline that it takes to be a champion in life. We led by example. Nothing in life of significance is ever accomplished alone. That's the Patriot way. Here in New England, we were the first team ever to take the field in the Super Bowl, not as individuals, but as a single unit. That's us. We did that, and we were the best in the world, and history will never forget that. It is the honor of my life to take my place among these other Patriot Hall of Famers and to be officially enshrined into the winning legacy of this amazing organization. You humble me. You make me proud, and I am eternally grateful. I am Tom Brady, and I am a Patriot.
Tom, you've been up under that stage all night. There are a lot of fans down here who want to get a little bit closer. So if you don't mind, one more time, come on down to the middle of Gillette Stadium's field so your fans can enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest inductee into the Patriots Hall of Fame, the best of all time, number 12, Tom Brady. We've got two more pieces of business here tonight. First off, all the other Redcoats, all the other Patriots Hall of Famers are going to head up to the stage right now. Congratulations to Tom. There are usually a couple of songs you hear when you come to a Patriots game, so we're going to make sure we do it the right way here tonight. Well, here is the end of a perfect night with It's a Beautiful Day. Tom, the Patriots Hall of Famers are waiting for you up there. Congratulations. I guess we'll be seeing you every Sunday. We look forward to hearing you and having you back in our Sundays. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the Patriots Hall of Fame, Tom Brady, will go join the rest of his Hall of Famers.
through the stony ground. There's no room, no space to rent in this town. You're out of luck.